Hello, everyone. It's your realtor, Katie. So, I first of all want to say that I am praying for everyone in the areas of Southern California that are being affected by these devastating fires. So, I just want to make sure that I let everybody know that. And what I want to talk to you guys about today is probate and how to avoid. So, let me just tell you a little story. So, I have actually, this is my third client in the last, I want to say, year that has decided to sell their home. They had someone who passed away. They want to sell the home, and they were on title, or had a will on record. So they thought they could just go ahead and sell it, no problem. Wrong, because if you don't have property in a trust and the person passes away, it will automatically have to go to probate. So you may be thinking, well, that's fine because me and my family, my siblings, we have an agreement. Let me just tell you that changes often when someone passes away. I don't know what it is, but something about grief just really kind of affects people in different ways, and we see clashing. And that's what happened in the last three situations. Number one, the first one, the mother passed away, and there were probably 7 or 8 siblings that was left to. However, the mother had put in a will that she wanted the eldest daughter to take care of everything and then split it with all the siblings. Sounds simple, right? Easy. Everything, just split it evenly. Wrong. Because one of the brothers decided he wanted to control everything. And now, because of that, they had to go back and forth to court, back and forth to court. Keep in mind, each of them have attorneys, and they're both having to pay their attorneys because attorneys, like any other professional, don't work for free. And they don't want to wait until things settle out to be paid. Why? Because do you know that an average probate can take anywhere from 6 to 18 months? So in the meantime, you've got these attorneys writing drafts, filing motions. They want to be paid. They're not waiting 18 months to be paid. So now you're having to come out of pocket each time you talk to your attorney. What attorney's charging? $300 an hour? So every time you pick up that phone and call your attorney, every time you send them an email, guess what? You're being charged. So that's one of the reasons. That's one case about how this whole thing fell apart. Okay. Now, the other situation, brother and sister owned a home. Sister passed away. Brother and sister thought they were the only one on title. As a matter of fact, during the life of the sister, they had actually got a quitclaim saying that it was just between he and the sister, thinking that when one or the other passed away, it automatically would go to the other. Guess what? Didn't quite work that way. Why, you say? Because it sounds pretty simple, right? Should have worked. No, when they filed that quitclaim to just put it between brother and sister, they had incorrect information on the document. They filed it. And let me tell you, it's crazy because they filed that 10 years previously. Why the court didn't let them know, the county didn't let them know something was incorrect, who knows? But they didn't. So now, fast forward 10 years, he wants to sell it. You can't, because this form was not valid. So now it has to be probated. The problem with that, because you're thinking, well, there's just one brother alive, should be simple. Because the sister that passed away, at one point she was married. Now they have to find all his heirs. So now this one literally took, I'm going to say back September of 2023, almost a year and a half. To resolve it, they had to find all those heirs. Now, fortunately, it has now come to fruition. Now he gets to sell it. Now, but here's the issue: half of the proceeds will go to him. The other half has to go to all these heirs. Now, had that form been completed correctly, he would have got the whole thing. Or had it been in a living trust, he would have got the whole thing. A will wouldn't have protected it. Just doing the quitclaim doesn't protect it. So that's number 2. Number 3, my client and I believe her sister, same situation, was on title. Now they did do a quitclaim and they did it correctly, but they never filed it with the court. So when you go to the courthouse, of course, like, this woman over here is still on title. We got to find all her heirs. Well, thank God they did have to get an attorney. And this one did not end up having to be probated because fortunately they had all the documentation to prove what they were saying. However, they still had to hire this lawyer. So this lawyer probably, from that time on, it's probably cost them maybe about $5,000 to $10,000. because this lawyer was not cheap. In LA County, one of the best, wasn't cheap. So now you're saying, well, God, Katie, what can I do? Put your home in a living trust. Make sure your parents have their home in a living trust and it says what you want them to say. Okay? Let me just tell you, a probate, you're thinking, well, how much is going a probate cost? Because living trust, I heard it's expensive. Let me just give you something to chew on. So probate in California, you got to file for it first. So that's about $435, okay? But now they look at the value of the assets. And so for the first 100,000, there's a 4% fee. The second 100,000, there's a 3% fee. The rest of it, there's a 2% fee. So let's just say that assets only equal about 600,000. Low-end house in Southern California, right? Okay. So let's give you some figures. So the first 100,000, that's 4,000. The second 100,000 is 3,000. The rest of it is at 2%. That's 8,000. That totals to about 15,000 just for a $600,000 house. God forbid if the house is worth $1 million, or if they own multiple properties and they got money in the bank. God, because remember, it's about the total assets. That's what's crazy. Okay, so we're talking minimum $15,000. Take you 9 to 18 months to get it. You got to be paying the lawyer in advance. A year and a half. What if you need your money? What if you needed that money? And again, even if you don't, $15,000 minimum. Okay, so a living trust. So you say, well, how much is a living trust? Because I heard that's expensive. If you hire an attorney, and depending on the complexity of the assets and how much work needs to be done, how long it takes, do a living trust is going to cost you between $1,500 and $5,000. $10,000 if you got a whole lot of assets and you got a high-end attorney. So let's just say $1,500 to $5,000, okay? Because we're talking about just minimum $600,000. Oh, you got a $6,000 home. Or there are services out there that will do it for less, $500 to $1,000. Now, I'm not saying the less expensive ones are the way to go. Again, it depends on the complexity of the assets and what's going on. The point I'm making is that either way you shake it out, get the living trust. Because even if you think, well, I don't care, I got $15,000. We can pay that. We can wait 18 months. And I want to go through all that mess with my siblings and all these other heirs that might pop up. Yeah, let's just say you're okay doing that. What's not worth any amount of money is fighting between siblings. Like when I mentioned my first client, now she and her brother are not speaking. That relationship has probably been severely sabotaged. And I do know people who have gone through things like that, and it's been 5-10 years, and they're still not speaking to their sister. Is it worth it? It is not. Okay. So again, give me a call or email me or text me if you have any questions about living trust. What I am going to start doing, I'm going to start calling everybody that I help buy a house. So if you're listening here, I'll be calling you, and I'll be demanding that you take my advice and put your home in a living trust. And going forward, for everyone that buys a home through me, I am also going to give them resources, information, how you can just do that at the time you close escrow. Put it all in your closing costs and do it at the same time and get it done, and don't worry about it. So again, it's your realtor, Katie. I just want you guys to be informed. I need you to have this information. I don't need you spending $15,000 plus to go through this escrow process, taking you 18 months, severing your relationship with your siblings. I don't want that for you. It's your realtor, Katie, your realtor for life. Always here to inform and educate. Have a great day.